Can a dip tank help with one of our biggest bottlenecks, and that's making sure we have enough screens ready for production? Are dip tanks worth it, and will it help increase productivity? Stick around to find out. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I'm Matt. I just recently went and got this CoreChem dip tank along with some CP2. In our previous shop, we just did not have enough space for a dip tank, and I think we got plenty of space just right over here to install this dip tank and see if it will help with just getting screens taken care of a lot faster and be able to have some ready to go when we need them, because we do a lot of spot process printing, which most of our jobs are anywhere from 7 to 8 colors. So one of the first things I have to do is I'm just going to move these screens, put this into place, and then we're going to pour in our chemicals and top this dip tank off with some water. I don't know where to put these. All right, we need to pour 2 5-gallons into this thing. Looks like I might need to clean it out a little bit, but I'm gonna pour these in there. Obviously before I'm gonna clean up this mess that is in there, and then we'll top it off with some water. So what comes with this is, oh geez, I can't reach in there. All right, what came with this kit is this little spout. We'll put that on, it goes down towards the bottom, and then we've got this little stick that holds this lid on, or it holds down your screens inside your dip tank, but we'll demonstrate that here in a second. First, we need to install this dude here. I wonder if I'm gonna need some Teflon tape. We might not need any Teflon tape. We shall see. Hopefully, I don't make the mistake of filling this thing up. Just snug it up by hand until she's facing down. I guess we'll see which way is on and off. Now we need to pour these chemicals into this dip tank. 2 5-gallon jugs, and we'll top it off some water. I'm going to put a screen down in here just to make sure I get the proper fill amount. I'll put 3 of them in there. And what that will do is, you know, it's kind of like frying a turkey. You don't want to put too much oil and dump your turkey in there and it goes spilling out. You know what I mean? Poking a hole in here. These lids aren't easy to get off. Please don't pour all over the place. Please don't pour all over the place. There we go. Alright, I got a few screens here, so I'm going to toss in here. And I'm going to try and fill this up as fast as I possibly can so those chemicals don't work on that too much and it doesn't degrade it. Alright, we got her filled all the way up. I did just end up reclaiming these screens so they weren't just hanging out for so long in the chemicals, because one of the things is about these chemicals with the dip tank, it's really meant to just dip the screen in there and not let it sit, because if you just let it sit, all that crud will go to the bottom, and will make your chemicals useless, and they are not cheap. I mean, just look at the crud at our filtration system from normally reclaiming the things. You don't want that in your dip tank. You want that clean. All right, we have about 18 screens over here. Our dip tank is nice and topped off. These are at various levels of, I might actually need to scrape that one. But I thought most of them were pretty much scraped, so we'll skip that one for now. But we'll see how it does versus doing it by hand. I'll do one by hand first, and we'll just use one of these color screens, and then we'll see how it works with some white. Let's do it. Let's try the good old traditional method. We'll see how long this takes. Uncut. If I could remember what is what. No, that's the wrong one. No, that's the wrong one as well. No, that's the wrong one. Oh my lord, I think I got the right one. And a little on chemicals, which this dip tank is going to help avoid that. Having to constantly top these things off. At least that's my thought. Alright, so we'll put our ink remover down. Came clean pretty easily. That's still our ink remover. A little emulsion remover. You can top this one off too. And generally I use 2 different brushes, but I just have this one sitting in there for now. And this generally breaks down pretty fast. To the other side just to make sure we get all this crap. Give it a rinse. Looks good. She's nice and clean. Aside from some spots over here, which I might have to hit a little more. Hopefully that'll get it. Looks good. All right, now on to the dip tank. Now on to the dip tank. This is a very similar emulsion. Going to remove the tape. And just keep an eye on the time markers down below. I'll kind of give you an idea whether or not this is actually worth it. Alright, let's toss her in the dip tank. Apparently about 45 seconds is all you need, and I have no idea what I did with that bar. So we'll let this thing we'll let this thing sit for about 45 seconds. Hopefully you guys can see that. She's in there. Need to look for that bar. I I see it. I accidentally kicked it over that way. Let's toss this bar in there and let it soak a little bit longer. Hold it down in there. So I don't want it to sit too long, otherwise we got everything starting to break down. You can already tell, you see the blue coming off, so let's toss it in the washout booth. Bring you guys along for the ride. I'm gonna blow this from the inside out. And I don't know, should I scrub it a little bit? Might help. A little scrub. We'll flop it around. All of our crap went down to the bottom. There we go. She is. Now I'll say one of the main advantages, I'm not sure how much less time this took or if it took about the same amount of time, but I could have a screen in there soaking while I'm blowing this out, toss it in there and just keep on going. And I don't have to worry about filling these bottles up, which obviously they need to be filled up. But this did a pretty awesome job also. One of the things I am noticing is that the frame is actually coming cleaner because it's actually sitting in the dip tank and the solution's getting to everything. With the spray bottle, you have to actually spray the edges, scrub it. I mean, there's a little spot down here at the bottom, but that's no big deal. We'll just clean that up real quick. But yeah, loving this, man. It's awesome. Alright, I've had this white screen soaking in there for about a good 45 seconds. Let some of the excess just run off. Toss this bad boy in here. And we'll see how it does. I'm going to toss another white screen in there while we're blowing this other one out. Let's see how long it takes. I don't know, I think this one's going to need... Not bad. Looks like, I mean, this one's pretty caked up. Not doing too terrible. Alright, this one's been sitting in here. Don't want it for too long. Let this guy do that kind of thing. with this one, I'm going to use a little haze remover because this thing has been sitting up for a while. I'll let that work on it. But let's take this one before it dries out. Give it a little bit of a scrub. Get that up through there. Not too shabby. It's pretty clean. Could probably use a little haze dehazer, but all in all, pretty good. Well, I knocked those screens out pretty darn quick. I can't really tell if I actually did them quicker or just kind of enjoying the process of using the DipTank. However, one of the things I have noticed about the DipTank is just kind of getting used to the timing of putting things in there, not letting it sit for too long. And the ink does, especially on white inks, the rest of them, they tend to kind of degrade nicely, but man, I've got stuff just all over me because I feel like the ink just kind of balls up somewhat, like rather than it just kind of degrading and turning into a wash, it's kind of balled up a little bit. Which you can kind of see over here. I'll zoom you guys in. Is a DipTank worth it? I think yes. However, it's gonna be a little bit of an adjustment, and depending on the chemicals that you get, you know, it might be a little messier. But in my opinion, I'm happy that we do have a DipTank now and make things easier, and we can get things done a lot faster.
I have completed.
You've completed.
I have completed what I was doing.
So rather than hear it from me, what do you think about the DipTank? The old DipTank, does it make anything faster?
It does.
Or slower?
Nah, it makes it faster, but it's a little, I would say sometimes I miss the scrubbing just because I know it's getting out in comparison to...
You like the scrubbing?
Sometimes. Just because like sometimes the emulsion sticks really, really long or something, you know? But other than that, it makes everything else normally like 90 to 80% faster.
90 to 80?
Yeah.
That fast?
Yeah, 90 to 80.
I do think it makes it faster.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since the last videos. You can see this thing's kind of bulged out. We can't really put the stick in anymore, but that's not a big deal. So what we'll do is we'll dip the screens in there for about 45 seconds. We'll set this on the floor, and it blows out pretty easy. Rather than blowing from the ink side, we'll blow from the we'll blow it out from the we'll blow it out from the t-shirt side. The t-shirt side of things.
Rush Hour 2 when they're in China and the chicken like right there on the thing. No, you don't know that.
How's it go?
Rush Hour 2 when the chicken.
Oh, okay. But I'd say the other thing that is different is it definitely leaves a bunch of ink in the washout booth that needs to be cleaned out, and sometimes can get on the bottom of your screens if you're not cleaning it thoroughly often enough. But this far, the DipTank has been working out well. It's made things faster. I initially got it for myself, so that way with everything that had been going on, just to make things faster for myself. But in turn, it's also making things a lot easier for our employees, such as Panda. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you later.